Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Nsomura Willie and I'm an international student in France. I share content on master's application, my life year as an international student in France. I do vlog and share useful content. So if these are the kind of things that you have interest in, please like my video, share my videos and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any of my updates. And to the returning subscribers, thank you very much for remaining consistent and always taking out your time to watch my videos. Anyways, this video is long overdue, and in this video we are just going to be sharing our experiences as Nigerians studying in France for over a year right now. Okay, so my friend is going to introduce herself.
My name is Tuade. I am a student in France as well. We came at the same time, so yeah.
Okay, so in this video we're just going to be answering 10 questions we think that any Nigerian that is coming to France would like to know about these questions. You would like to know what are the answers to it, and just generally about our life staying in France and how we see it as students. And I'm just going to lay this disclaimer out there. This is just our own opinions and just based on our own experiences, based on our own prevailing conditions right now. It might be different for other persons depending on their own conditions or what they are going through anyways, but we're just going to be as open as we can with answering the questions. So let's get right into it. Okay, the first question I have here is did you initially plan to study in France? Like, was it a choice you consciously made to come to France to study?
Okay, so should I start first?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I didn't plan to come to France. Like initially, I planned to do my masters, obviously, like everybody's plan, and I wanted to Japan, as everybody wanted to do. So my plan was either to go to the UK or to Canada, but funds were a huge issue for me. So I just started applying scholarships, and I applied to Total Energy scholarships, and that's how I ended up in France. So it wasn't but I wasn't closed up to the idea. Like I feel like I was very open to moving anywhere, but France was not one of the top places I thought of when I wanted to move out to do my masters.
Okay. I think we never both planned to come to France. We just happened to come here because this is where the money was.
That's where we saw money. Yes.
Okay. All right. The second question is, when you arrived in France, what was your first impression of France when you arrived?
Yes, first impression. I mean, when we came, it was like a Sunday. Everywhere was kind of quiet. Landed in Paris, got our way to the train station, came to. I mean, it looked nice. It looked like, I felt like, you know, when you watch movies and you're seeing, oh, Paris, Europe, all the places. So yeah, that's how it felt. And it was cold. It wasn't that cold. Was it cold?
It wasn't that cold.
It wasn't that cold. I think it came early September, so it wasn't that cold. But it was alright for me. Like, I mean, yes, I think the first thing that hit me was that day when we landed, I was very hungry. So I and someone else, we went to go and get food, and I was like, we had been learning French before we came, and I'm like, I can communicate and buy food now. How much is this? I want this. It's not that hard. And I got there and I could not say a single line. The only thing I could say was bonjour. And it was tough. And I didn't even have, I think I had a little bit of cash, and I gave her 50 euros, and she looked at me with this eye like, why are you giving me 50 euros for something that's 2 euros?
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't, I think the first thing that hit me was the language. I was like, how am I going to survive here? I've been here for over a year, and I'm still surviving, so it's fine.
So the next question, do you think the French are racist in terms of like the culture and everything? What do you think?
Well, I won't say like I have personally, I have been, you know, when people are doing snide comments, like you can feel their racism coming across, but they will not be racist in your face. So I think that is one thing I've seen. But then again, I mean, this is a country that the whole football club is black. It doesn't stop them from being racist. Anyway, and another thing is that because where we live, there are a lot of students, and there are a lot of black people, and there's a lot of like black Africans and a lot of things. So I can say that there is a bit of racism, but funny enough, I don't think it comes from, most of the time comes from French people.
Yeah.
I think it comes from like maybe other people from other places, maybe. Yeah, but for me, me, I don't think it's just one time I felt like the teacher was being racist to me, and that was because I came late to class, and I didn't come the latest. I came like, okay, class was supposed to start by 1:30, but we didn't know, so we came at 2 o'clock, and other students came by like 2:30, and 2 hours later, and he didn't say anything to them. He just turned and looked at me and like, you know that class is supposed to start at 1:30, not 2 o'clock. Next time, don't be late. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but like
maybe she had high expectations for you.
As in, I'm like, I'm sorry, but like other people that came later than me, they didn't get anything. They didn't say anything to them. It was just me, and I was like, I'm busy because I'm black. But yeah, and so that's how I feel about the racism here. But I don't think it's.
Okay. For me personally, I was feeling like this is like actually a very important question to ask, because as internationals, as foreigners coming to a strange land, these are questions you should ask yourself just to know the environment you are going to, because first of all, it's your safety first, apart from the whole Japan something or leaving your country to study or to learn elsewhere. It's your safety. God forbid you go another place and it's worse than you expected, then it will be of no value. You won't be able to study or fulfill your purpose of leaving your own country. So I think personally, I've not actually like experienced, I would say, I felt like it was racism, because I think I just see, okay, maybe the person is just being very mean to me. Yeah, that's how I used to say, maybe the person is very, very mean to me. And
I also think it has to do with where you stay also, because I think because we stay in like a prominent like international student city, so you won't like get like, you won't feel a lot of, because there are a lot of black people, there are a lot of Arabs, there are a lot of other Europeans, even people from North America, South America. So it's like a very international city, so it's less. I feel like we won't feel it as much here, and like people that maybe stay in like places like, or you stay in a very remote place where there's no black person at all or stuff like that. So
I think
it depends on where you stay.
All right. The fourth question we have. The fourth question is making friends with classmates and people outside your class. How has it been for you in terms of making friends?
I mean, I'm not very big on making friends. I'm friendly, but I don't go out of my way to try and make friends. But I would say that, I mean, I've been with my classmates now for a year and a half, so I can say that I have some friends within the class, and we are a very small group. I think this year we just became 13, and in our first year we were just 11, so we're a very small group. So I mean, everybody, and most of us came from our countries with nobody, we don't know anyone. So obviously, the people around you are the people that you automatically be drawn to be friends. So aside, and for us, we were having classes with French students, and most of these French students have known each other since they were maybe in kindergarten or something. So I noticed that French people, they're not very open. They're not very welcoming to strangers. I mean, I did a project with somebody, and after the project she was like, I don't know you. Like, they don't
mind your business.
Even to say hi on the road, they're not like that. So I think it might be hard at first, but I noticed that if you try and speak French with them, they will eventually try and open up to you. But for us in like my program, that we're all international students, I think we're close, but we're not like extremely close, but like we're close enough and we understand each other and we know how to help each other out in case of. So I know that if I need something important, I can always ask one of them and they'll be willing to. Sometimes I feel they are too nice, but that's my opinion. So yeah.
All right, the fifth question is the standard of living in France. How do you see the standard of living here in France as a student, especially here in Grenoble?
I think living in Grenoble is very nice. I mean, it's very, very nice for me, because I mean, it is like standard of living in France is not. It depends on where you are actually. Like, we stay in a prominently student city, and it's not close to the northern part of France, like Paris and all those other places. We stay in another region completely. So, and France loves students. They love their students. They love it when you go to school. I mean, we have CAF benefits. Like, half of my rent is already paid by the government. I'm paying just half. Transportation as well, I'm paying close to nothing, which is
2.5
2.5 years for a whole month, and normally I'm supposed to be paying about 60, but because I'm a student, I'm on scholarship and all that, so I'm paying just 2.5. then I mean, the only thing that I actually spend my money on is groceries and my
And
own
now you still have help with the
yes,
groceries.
exactly.
I mean, there's a place you can pay just €1 and you still get food stuff.
Yeah.
And the other ones, just that we have not actually looked into it. There are still other food centers that they still give.
And then even if you're not a student, I think there are still places you can go to and you get food on discounts and
Too good. Is it
too good to go.
Yeah,
So it's an app you can. It's mostly.
Have you ever used that app?
Yeah, I've used it once. I've used it one time.
I think we use our money for skincare.
Exactly, skincare and shoes and clothes sometimes. But aside that,
Even for clothes, we have places you
yeah.
can
Also,
get
even
very
clothes
affordable.
you can get anything.
I made a video on that, so you should check it out. Yeah,
anything you can get it at an affordable rate, except you like brand new stuff, which I don't think is that important.
A big deal.
But yeah, cost of living isn't high as one would expect. But then again, it could also be because we are on scholarship, so we have like the benefit of getting an allowance every month, which is a subsequent amount of money.
It makes us be at peace.
Yes, subsequent amount of money compared to if we're living in Paris and we're earning. If we're earning this while we're in Paris, I don't think I would have saved as much.
Okay, that's true.
So
That's true. Yeah.
you would have probably had to spend more because the cost of living in Paris is
It's
more.
high.
Yeah.
Okay, so schooling in France. What do you think about schooling in France this past 1 year plus? What can you say about schooling in France? Is it what you expected? Or is it like, according to popular opinions, it's always like, we want to leave Nigeria, you're suffering in Nigeria. School outside is like very, sweet, no stress at all. Is it
I think education system is different everywhere. In the UK is different, in the US is different, Canada is different. In France it is very different, it's very peculiar. Like for us now, I mean, it's only in France that I find out that exams are not such like a huge deal. Like awesome. Like in Nigeria when you're writing exams, this week is exam week.
Like
you can focus on your exam for those 2 weeks. But for example, I had 2 exams on Monday and I still had like a class to go to on Monday. I have another one next week, but I still have like classes during the exam. So exams are like scattered. Like they don't take it like it's not personal. They don't take it. It's not too deep. Like it's not that serious. But also I noticed that here you do a lot of practice. Depending on the work. Even I think it doesn't even matter if you're doing like a managerial course or engineering, whatever program you're doing, you always have like practical works to do.
Presentations is like a core part of the French education system, because even if it's not engineering, my friends in the business related courses and managerial related courses, they still have presentations, reports, everything. I'm like, okay. So the next question, that's the 7th question. Do you think you would have survived in France if you were self-funded? Like if you didn't have a scholarship, do you think you would still be able to survive? I think the question is really so objective.
I think it's objective because us, we are not self-funded. But for us, I think maybe I would have learned French faster because I have because I will have to find a job obviously, and there are a lot of student jobs. But I probably have learned French faster and maybe taking my French more seriously because I wouldn't have needed it to like get a good job or a proper student job where I'm earning enough. So I think I might not have been staying in this very lovely studio. I would have probably been staying in one, maybe you're abode, the one on the mountain. Because it's cheap and also I'm getting like cab. But either way, I think I would have probably had to like cut off on a lot of things that I spend on now. But I think I would have found a way to work out.
That scholarship, you can still survive. You just have to like cut down your expenses. And then I feel like when you are working, if you don't have a scholarship, it makes you like your ability to learn French just increases.
Yes, I find it's true though. Like you learn the French faster, you will.
Because when you're working like the same job, maybe a cleaning job or working in the restaurant or working in the supermarket, for example, you are constantly surrounded with the French speaking environment and so on. So it just makes you learn the French very fast, and you're more serious with it because you're looking for more opportunities, and speaking French comes with more opportunities for you. I feel like when you speak French, you are open to a lot of other opportunities that you may not have been open to. Okay, the next question. Working in France, like right now we're not working anyways, but from the little we see, what do you think what do you think it would be like working in France in terms of the experience? I mean, the holidays and the general working environment. What do you think it would be like?
I think French people, they have, I think, a very good work-life balance. Like you can't see a French person in work at 12 o'clock because that's their lunchtime. They won't answer emails, they won't pick up calls, they won't even be on their seat there. They'll probably go enter the tram to
A
restaurant like and spend 2 hours eating and come back or 1 hour 30 minutes eating and come back to work by 2 o'clock, and 5 o'clock pack their bags and they're gone. They don't I think they have a very good work-life balance here. Nobody expects you to be working during your lunch hours. Nobody expects you to be working during your holiday or leave. I remember someone during the Christmas break, someone messaged me for an interview, and I was like, oh yes, I'm available. Like I told her the week after, like the Christmas was on Sunday, so I told her like on 27th. So like, you know, oh no, I'm not going to be around. But you can send me another email and tell me your availability, but I'm not going to respond to that email to like come back from my holidays. So like they take their holidays very seriously, and obviously they still get their job done, but like they know that it's important to have like a very good work-life balance, which is very important.
This question is the language barrier. Do you think the language is a barrier for us surviving in France as students? Like without speaking French, do you think it's a barrier for us surviving?
I don't really think it is. Well, it also depends on like if your exam, okay, us we are taught in English, so for us our learning and everything shouldn't hinder that. But going about your day to day, I mean, you just need to know the basics. That's what I think. That is why I am not like very seriously motivated to learn French. Because I can understand people when they speak to me, but I might not be able to respond to you in French. And for me, as long as I can understand what you're saying, I'm fine. So and I'm surviving. I'm not gotten in trouble. Nothing has happened to me. But yeah, obviously it's good to learn the language and good so that you can interact and integrate yourself more into the culture and all that. But I don't think it is like a serious barrier to you schooling to your school and everything. It's not going to affect you if you choose an English taught program, and they will still incorporate French language into your program as well. They will teach you French. I started from A1. I'm in B1 now. So, and I mean B1 meaning I can understand. If you literally they wrote it on certificate, B1 she understands well, but has problem communicating in French and or the French grammar. I think that is my own problem is French grammar. It's not like English grammar. Like they have like different ways of different structures, different ways of conjugating verbs in different tense, past, present, future, whatever tense it is. So, but overall, I think you can survive, and there's always Google Translators. I remember I went to the doctor and she just typed it in Google Translate because I was trying to I didn't know, like there's some medical words that she was saying and I didn't understand what she was saying. I'm like, I don't know what this is in French, like what is in English. So I think she was trying to tell me measles. Okay. But she didn't know the English word for measles, and Google Translate came to the rescue and we solved the problem, and that was that.
Okay, the last question we have, 10th question, is will you advise anyone to study in France?
Yeah, I generally advise anyone anywhere in Europe aside from the UK, come and study. Come here, because it's very like education is very cheap here. Like I think, and it's just recently, before people used to pay, international students used to pay the same with European citizens. It's just recently they started making it different, and even with the difference, like it is still, I mean,
3,000 euros, 5,000 euros.
Our school fees is equivalent to going to a private school in Nigeria and like going to like Afe Babalola, which is a very expensive private school in Nigeria. I mean, so it's anywhere in Europe you're fine. And there are still schools in Europe. I think in Germany there are some schools in Germany where you don't pay tuition. You just go and you just pay for your cost of living. And Norway as well, I know they do that. There are a lot of schools you can just apply to. It doesn't have to be in France. Anywhere in Europe generally, it's cheaper than going to the UK where you're going to pay over
20,000. You're schooling with loan, like you have loan to pay.
Even in the US as well, Canada. So it's just language. And I mean, for, like, other European countries are not like they're not as strict as French when it comes to their language and learning, being able to speak it. Like there are people in Germany that they don't know anything in German, but
they're still surviving.
they're still surviving, and they went there and they're doing well. So yeah.
I think for me to also, if I'll advise you to study in France. I mean, that's why I created a channel, right? So, I think we need to answer that, because for me to create a channel about studying here in France, I mean, that means I'm actually encouraging you that it can be an opportunity for you to study here, because of the school fees. Actually, like, it's not expensive, that expensive. It's within, let's say, 1,000 to 5,000, but there's even some schools that are still 300 euro. Like, to be honest, I think the main thing is always that people, we are just really lazy to search something, to search it out. But guys, if you're really serious, you're just going to carry your computer and start searching for the schools. I've spoken about Campus France. I've spoken about many things. You can always find schools, like cheap schools. So just try and look at those videos. It's possible for you to find a very, very cheap school. So we are going to advise you to come to study if you want to. Come to study to France. Just that, be open to the possibility of learning the language. Just keep your options open, just in case that you are limited to finding opportunities. So, but if you have a basic of the language, you are going to get it. To be honest, I feel it's doable. Just keep yourselves amongst French persons. It's actually really doable. Just keep your minds open. It's not that hard. At least just know the basics. Let them see your interest. You can always solve them. We have come to the end of this video, and I think we should actually do a video on the internship something. Yeah, we should make a video on that internship stuff, about getting internship. So we're just trying to keep this video as short as possible, which I doubt was short. But, so we have actually come to the end of this video, and if you stayed this far, thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks for staying this far. I hope you learned something. I hope you have been able to influence your decision.
Convince you and not confuse you.
Either to come to France and study, and just to share from our own experience as Nigerians here in France with little knowledge of French. We came with little knowledge of French. So anyways, remember to share this video, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. And I admonish you to actually try and look at the channel. You see other useful videos that can actually help you in making your decisions. So anyways, see you next time. Bye.